What a beautiful morning. Still a bit chilly though. I was hoping to come out and sketch some sheep that have been in the field just up here, but I've missed them, they've been moved on. So I'm going to go, I could sketch this again, I have sketched that already. I've got some pigs and pigs and goats around the corner. I could go and try and sketch them. It's nice and warm and out of the wind in this corner here. So I think I'm going to set up my stool and see what catches my eye. I'm a little bit behind on my Revolve sketches because the weather has been so wet and cold and windy. I just really gave up trying to come outside, and the kids are on half term. So it's been busy, but not to worry. I half thought I could come out and do 1 or 2 sketches today and 1 or 2 tomorrow, and then I'll be all caught up again. So yeah, just lots of overgrown brambles here. It'll be greening up soon. So the last few weeks really to kind of capture these bare winter trees. Okay, let's get set up. So I've brought my mini Sendak out with all my art supplies for out and about. I've got a watercolour tin in here, some pencils, pens, a couple of paintbrushes and a water pot. I'm trying to use more actual brushes rather than water brushes. In fact, I don't even think, oh no, I do have a water brush just in case I need that. So I've also bought my Pith sketchbook out, which is my current sort of everyday sketchbook. And I thought I could just make a couple of rough sketches in here just to warm up, loosen up a little bit. And I've brought my trusty drawing board out Nikki gave me, with a couple of clips to clip the sketch pad onto, and a clip for the paint palette. And this is my view. So I kind of like the grass into the sort of bird friendly seed crop and the hedge line beyond and the clouds. So there's lots to, you know, potentially draw. There's an old barn over there. Oh, I can hear, I don't know if you can hear all of the birds that are really loving this bird friendly seed crop for over winter. I don't know if you can see, they're all swarming around over there. That's just a few of them. I think they're all going into that big oak tree and then feeding on the seeds still. So I'm assuming they'll sort of start dissipating a little bit once there's more food in the hedgerows, because I assume that this crop will be fairly exhausted with the number of birds that have been feeding from it. But yeah, what a beautiful morning. And just over there you can see all of my pigs. It's Daisy and I think Poppy is through there with one of my goats. So I should come out and draw them at some point, see how much rain we've had. There's a little bit of water lying around there. I can really hear those birds. Anyway, warming up in the sunshine here, which is nice, but I'm going to crack on with a bit of a sketch now. So I've done quite a quick sketch here, just using the Pentel pocket brush pen, I think they're called. I've got the grey ink, and that's been quite useful just to kind of get a feel for how I might compose the shot, the sketch. So I think this will be sketch 1 that I'm going to do now, but I'm probably going to use ink and watercolour for this. I haven't really used watercolour for a while and it's feeling quite colourful today, so yeah, let's get on with that. I've just sketched the first pass in my Pentel pocket brush pen with grey ink, and I've just tried to do a rough sort of sketch just to kind of get some of the features down. I've also tried to experiment by adding some of the birds, just because they're really kind of a significant part of this field. I'm just watching them now, absolutely beautiful and incredible And I've tried to kind of put some directional mark making in for the seeds, the seed heads that are all, you know, the stalks and stems have all sort of folded down in the wind. But let me just try and get these birds. I'm not a bird expert, but I believe they are finches. Having seen them, I think they look like, I think largely chaffinches, but possibly some, could be a mix of different types of finch. But yeah, I see hundreds of them. Okay, so I'm going to add some watercolour now. Just trying to find a colour that will kind of match this yellowy, it's like a sort of sandy yellow, which I don't really have in the palette here. So just trying to mix, but I don't want it to overtake, take over rather. And I just want to try and add some more of the kind of foreground if I can. It's not really the right colour. I think I'm just going to go with the Payne's Grey, just to kind of match in a bit really with the original grey ink I'd put in. It's a little bit wet. I'm just trying to keep my pen, my brush nice and loose. And I think I'm probably overworking this a bit, so I think I should do a little bit of spatter and leave it at that. And it doesn't feel overly contrasty or bright, but it is kind of a bright, sunshiny day, and I feel this sort of suits that sort of overexposed mood, maybe. So I just turned myself around 45 degrees to sketch this tree and the gateway. What I haven't put in is the shed actually, so it's a bit glaringly obvious looking at it through the camera. But I wasn't focused on that when I was sketching. I was just trying to get a rough kind of composition. I've tried to include my pigs, but they've all moved and I'm not sure they work very well. I might ignore them for the next one, we'll see. And my grey ink is running out, so I'll have to move on to black, which will be a lot more contrasty, so it'll be interesting to see how that compares. So this is the view into the paddock from the north facing south. And here's my second one, which I'm not too sure of, but I kind of like the fact it's quite contrasty, because I am sort of looking at a very sort of contrasty scene here with very black kind of trees and shadows. So I just sort of tried to splash a little bit of green in just to kind of give a bit of context and sense of place. But my pig has gone a little bit blurry there. I think I sort of watercoloured over it a bit too quickly, and the ink hadn't dried, so I might try and tidy that up a little bit at home. But that is the gateway into the paddock.